late 2025, Thea Hale and Blake Monroe were fighting for the NXT Women's North American title, and Thea Hale won. Why is that interesting, my friends? Well, because she wasn't meant to. For one reason or another, the referee counted 3 when Blake didn't get her shoulders up. And look, humans make mistakes, it doesn't matter. Everybody was okay, and that's the main thing. Maybe sometimes we should just enjoy these mishaps, only in wrestling. It is not the first time, and it definitely won't be the last, because wrestling is nuts, and that's why I flippin' love it. So I am Simon Mill, I've got no hair, and let's take a trip down memory lane to enjoy these stories, because they're crazy. Number 7, Thea Hale wins the North American title. So I can't just leave you with the headlines, because that would be mean. We've got to get into it. But on the 16th of December NXT show, Hale hit a springboard senton onto Blake, and yep, the ref counted 1, 2, 3, and the world stopped. You could see that Thea freaked out in real time because that wasn't meant to happen, and everybody went real quiet. Production then played Monroe's music because she was meant to win. It was a very real situation in a predetermined world. Now, we don't know what happened, but it did look like the move knocked the wind out of Blake, and as the officials are told to count as if the match was legit, well, technically it all fell apart. It was kind of wonderful to see Thea not know how to react because understandably she was likely a bit worried. Accidentally winning a championship is likely sending a rogue email on normal jobs, but then you got the reaction of the crowd when they realized what had happened and they accepted this change. That was really nice. The fans are into Thea. So sure, it was a bit messy, but as above, as long as everybody is all right, it's fine. We also write the stories, and we can write a new one for this, which is basically what Shawn Michaels did. Did kinda suck because NXT had sorted TV for weeks after this, so they had to re-record segments, but hey ho, it got done. Onwards we go, and it will be a good story if either one of them ever wants to write a book. Number 6, Men on a Mission become the tag champs. I love Men on a Mission. They rapped, they seemed super happy, and they wore bright colours. I mean, really, they were the most 90s thing ever. Mo and Mabel definitely got themselves over as well, so much so the latter actually got a massive push. It didn't work out, but as he was getting cheered and was massive, Vince McMahon decided to put Mabel in the main event. I mean, of course he did. That's Vince McMahon. That was 1995, mind. And in 1994, Mabel and Mo had their own moment. During a non-televised house show, they beat the Quebecers, who were indeed the WWF Tag Team Champions. Problem was, that wasn't meant to happen. Somebody just didn't kick out. This was after a 450-pound Mabel had fallen on Pierre Willette and basically stunned him. It knocked the wind out of him too, so yep, when the big man made the pin, Pierre did not kick out. For some reason as well, the WWF did acknowledge this, before the titles were switched back on another house show. I often wonder, given it was mentioned, if the powers that be did this on purpose. I mean, why not, right? You're then telling the audience that anything can happen at a house show, so maybe you should come on down, spend lots of money. Number 5, Mickie James and Victoria, forget. As we mentioned a few times, the biggest issues when you get a wrongful winner and title change is to figure out what to do next. The immediate aftermath is always awkward because you can see the talent trying to figure it out in their heads, and if you're a true legend, you think on your feet. This is what happened in April 2007 when Mickie James accidentally pinned Victoria during another house show. Essentially, once again, Victoria forgot to kick out, so James was now the champion, which was not the plan. Melina was also in this match, and she was meant to retain. Whoops. In a true bit of fun, however, rather than wait to sort it, WWE just came out and said, haha, Melina is so mad, she wants a rematch later tonight, and boom, she won her title back. So now the crowd had seen 2 championship changes, and surprise, surprise, the audience liked that. This was another one that WWE did recognize, as well they should. Wrestling can go wrong, just make the most out of it. I mean, if we are living in a fake world, for lack of a better term, you may as well lean into the fakeness. In fact, that's why wrestling is so great, but of course it still hurts, damn it. You know what I'm talking about. Number 4, Razor calls on Audible. People forget that Razor, Ramon and Shawn Michaels had 2 ladder matches for the Intercontinental title. The WrestleMania 10 encounter has been written into history, but the second at the 1995 SummerSlam is also great, and basically helped get this gimmick match going in the WWE. In May 1995, Scott Hall actually faced Jeff Jarrett on a house show, and yep, once again we were using a ladder. Jeff was supposed to win the thing, but when he accidentally missed his cue to stop Razor Ramon, who was about to grab the belt, well, Ramon called an audible. He could stay inactive for too long, but he didn't want to look like an idiot, so because Jarrett wasn't coming, well, he grabbed the belt and he became the flipping champion. As other entries in this list, WWE just rematched them 2 days later, and I like it. I mean, how many times do we as fans get on a wrestler's case for breaking down when quite clearly, you're right there, you mother Hubbard, grab the belt? Not Scott Hall. Jeff Jarrett had his chance and he was late. I would imagine that Double J never did this again. Number 3, the Hardcore Mania Meltdown. So for one reason or another, this one has gone down in infamy. I mean, people talk about it online all the time. It was back at WrestleMania 2000 when we decided to throw in as many human beings as possible to the Hardcore title match. The 24/7 rule meant a host of wrestlers felt like they deserved a shot. The title changed hands 10 times during the thing, and look at Crash Holly. He walked in as the champion, and, well, he lost it to Taz in about 25 seconds. 14 minutes later, Crash won it back before Cousin Hardcore Holly cracked him with a jar of sweets and pinned him. I mean, that's not very nice at all. The problem was Crash was meant to kick out, and for some reason he didn't, which is becoming my catchphrase for this video. You can even see referee Tim White hold up his count before going, well, I've got to hit 3 eventually. I mean, Crash wasn't moving, and that meant Hardcore Holly left with the title. Let me just summarize this to you in one sentence. It wasn't meant to happen, and then we just went and sorted this out on Raw. Once again, though, if you do look closely enough, you can kind of see all the individuals looking at each other, because they just made one big whoops. Number 2, AJ Styles and the US title. AJ Styles has been doing this at such a high level for so long, this sort of thing was always going to happen. I looked into the maths and it's called the law of averages. In 2017, he was feuding with Kevin Owens as well, so yeah, fans were pumped about that. The fact we even got to a time where Kevin Owens and AJ Styles were both in WWE, we had come a flipping long way. The first battle at Backlash was really good, except the fact it had a redundant count-out finished, but that just meant we got a round 2 at the Battleground pay-per-view. This one ended with madness, because Kevin Owens did reverse a crossface into the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment, the surprise roll-up, and yes, Styles was meant to kick out, and guess what happened? He did not. Who the flub knows what happened, but the referee counted 3, and we soon learned this was not the plan. The word was Styles was super upset after this, but it does make sense. That man is a super pro, and it also meant the US title he'd only just won a couple of weeks ago, well, he lost it. But don't worry, because 2 days after this, he won it back. Kinda sums it up. Number 1, Gene Kiniski gets the stipulation wrong. So there was a time when the NWA World Heavyweight title was the belt in wrestling. Legendary figures had won it and turned it into the ultimate prize, and icons like Lou Thesz and Pat O'Connor would hold it for years. It just meant when there was a change, you were going to hear about it. The rule back in the 1960s too was if the championship was going to be moved on, it had to do so in a 2 out of 3 falls match. That way, if you did become the new champion, you had doubly proved you were the guy. It's also why so many of these fights went 60 minutes or more, which is why Gene Kiniski entered his title match against Dory Funk Jr. with all this in mind. Gene has talked about it himself, but when Funk applied his spinning toe hold, Kiniski submitted because he thought he was winning. This is Dory's big move. I've got 2 more falls to turn it around. No problem. Well, nope, that wasn't the case, because for whatever reason, the NWA had decided they were going to shake things up with a rare singles match for the title, so Gene had just lost his belt. Amazingly, the powers that be stuck with this too, and Dory held the title for 1,563 days. Turned out Funk was going to win it later on the year anyway, but hey ho, we're here now, let's just go with it. So that really is awesome, and it gets rid of this idea of, well, wrestling was way more serious back in the day. Mistakes happen, man, and you may as well embrace them, because whether it is 1942 or 2079, they are going to smack you right in the face.